Jennifer Braunfels is a longtime teacher in Maine who has just achieved a dream. Her first novel has just been published. It's called Everything You Love Ends Up in a Yard Sale, and she's with us here on 207. Thanks for coming in. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Let me begin with kind of a lame, obvious question. Are you a yard sale aficionado?
I'm not. I'm more of the person that has the yard sale. I want to get rid of all of the things that I no longer need.
Big on the decluttering.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk a little bit before we get to the writing of this book and the book itself about your career as a teacher. You've been teaching high school English for many, many years. Would you say that it has made you a better writer? Or maybe has it hurt you as a writer?
It's definitely made me a better writer because I spend all of my days grading students' work and their writing and trying to help them become better writers. And so all the advice that I've given to them over the years, I try to take myself and revise and revise and revise.
So when you sat down to write this book, did you have a pretty good idea of the story you wanted to tell and therefore it came fairly easily? Or was this a painful slog every page of the way?
It was not painful at all. It started out as sort of a memoir piece involving a tragedy. Someone that I loved passed away, and so it started out as nonfiction, and then I brought it to my writers group, and they said, no, there's more story here. And so I turned it into fiction and sort of built around that one scene.
What is, in a nutshell, the basic story, or at least the start of how this story begins?
So Grace is a 30-year-old woman who comes to Maine, and she comes here to repair her relationship with her boyfriend, and she thinks being in Maine is going to fix everything. And on her first day, she meets her boisterous older neighbor who lives in the cabin next to hers, and the two of them become the best of friends. And so the book shifts from the relationship that she has and is more about friendship.
It's, to some extent, though, a romantic story.
Yes.
And I would think that it's tough to write romantic fiction these days because, on the one hand, it's hugely popular, so there are a lot of stories that have already been told, and on the other hand, because you don't want to kind of fall into that Hallmark trap. Was that in the back of your mind?
It was. I did not want this book to end like all other books with the happy ending, wrapped up perfectly, you know, they ride off into the sunset together. I did not want that for this book.
What kind of a tone did you want to strike? You wanted, well, I won't put words in your mouth. What kind of a tone did you want to have in this book?
I wanted there to be a nice balance and a mix of loss and grief and starting over, and balanced with hope and humor.
Writing is a solitary profession. You mentioned that you are in a club with other writers. What kind of support and encouragement did they give you?
All of it. I wrote this years ago, 12, 13 years ago, and I put it away, and I just took it out a few years ago and dusted it off, and when I wrote it, I thought, oh, this is a masterpiece. This will be a bestseller. And when I took it back out all those years later, I thought, this is terrible and needs a lot of work. And so they really helped me breathe life back into this book.
Boy, that's a good lesson for your students, for anyone, in the value of persistence.
Yes, yes.
12, 13 years
yes.
before it finally got published. And you write towards the end of the book, in the acknowledgments of this book, that having this first novel of yours be published was, as I said, the culmination of a dream.
Yes.
What does it mean to you?
It means everything to me. When I was little, I would write books and put my name on the cover, and I, as a little kid, thought this is what I want when I grow up. But of course, I thought, well, I've got to have a career, so I became a teacher. But to be able to see my name on the cover of a book is just a dream come true that I've had since I was little.
I love it. Jennifer Braunfels, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Again, the name of the book is Everything You Love Ends Up in a Yard Sale. We've got more information on the book and the author in the 207 section of our News Center Maine website and app. Stick around. 207 is going to be back right after this.